through my live setup for tonight. Now, the idea here was, can I replicate what I'm doing kind of in the studio, like, you know, the next studio thing that I'm working on, can I replicate that live? Now, the next sort of EP I'm working on is largely Volca based, so we've got the Volca keys. I am using the SH-01A because it's amazing. This is a great live synth because obviously it's very compact and USB powered. I have got an old classic out, that's the EA1 from Korg, which is basically two mono voices, so that's an old groove box. But as you can see, conveniently fits in the flight case. I was thinking of using the Yamaha CS, which sounds great. I need to do more with the Yamaha CS, but doesn't fit in the flight case. So what I like about this is this all fits. Also, you know, I'm actually using only half of that essentially. I'm just using that as essentially a mono synth to replicate what I'm doing on my modular synth in the studio. Obviously I could take my modular synth, but that's a bit of a faff, so the EA1 will have to suffice. But does sound very good. Now, this seemed like it would be a fairly easy setup, but it turned out to be a bit of a nightmare, and it's basically a story of cables. So I couldn't get all the I couldn't get MIDI over USB to the SH-01A, which means I need to use the MIDI cable, which is okay, fine, it's there. But then we need to think about connectivity. Now, likewise, the Volca obviously has MIDI in, but doesn't have any kind of USB connection. So I now need two MIDI cables, right? SH-01A, Volca keys. And the EA1, that hasn't got USB either, so we're talking old-fashioned MIDI. So I now need three MIDI cables, not to mention all the audio cables. The EA1, I power from the wall. SH-01A powered from USB, great. This I can power from a little portable power pack using this cable that I bought, and this allowed me to do those kind of outdoor jams with the Vulcan modular and the NTS1, so that's great. So another new cable I had to get is this Lakato USB to MIDI, and you can see that goes to the Volca keys, and I've also got a MIDI out there that's just bundled together. So that handles some of my MIDI, but for the SH-01A and the EA1 I had to break out this old little MIDI man box, which does operate over USB, but now I've got another USB connection to worry about, and then I've got my two MIDI cables going out at the back there. So now I've got to worry about USB for that, USB for that. My mixer there is also USB, so I now need three USB connections. So I now need another cable. So you can see what I've just done is I've just done some rudimentary woodworking on my little laptop stand and put a little USB hub. I can't remember the name of these, but there's hundreds of these kind of boxes on Amazon and similar things. And then obviously the laptop to control everything. So it was a bit of a nightmare working all this out, but now I've got everything in a flight case. Awesome. My cables are a bit tidier. I think I'll attach this Lakato somehow to maybe just sort of cable tie it to my stand there, so that's out of the way. I'll do that now. Using the multi-stomp for a bit of delay and reverb. I know this is the wrong Zoom multi-stomp for the kind of effects work. People use the one that's very similar to that. That's more geared up for guitar. But just because it's for guitar doesn't mean so you have to use the guitar emulators in there. You can just plug in a compression, delay, reverb, Bob's your uncle, and that's on its own send, which is nice. So that's on this channel here, so I can dial in and then send different amounts to that effect, which was working pretty well last night. Anyway, I don't know if that's useful to anyone. But yeah, cables, 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 cables.